Hi, folks. The whole fallout thing from the Hillsong Church thing. I understand that, but I was not like really loving. I saw Tammy Faye Baker and Jim Baker on HBO or whatever. You know, it was like the religious channel when we were in a trailer. I'm like, well, they're really people that really love God. Why is she wearing these false eyelashes? She looks like a freak. Doesn't matter. And then it came out later that he had committed impropriety with Jessica Hahn. Was it him or Jimmy Swaggart? I don't know. I'm getting it mixed up. I'm sorry. I'm here to pick up the pieces for you. Like Hillsong Church, like blah, blah, blah. I love you, Lord. Oh, I stubbed my toe. I stubbed my toe. I love you, Lord. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Like lyrics that have no complexity whatsoever. They're so easy. It's like, I'm not sure, but I felt really connected to the old religious hymns when I went to the traditional church where you had to look it up, and I would always get my timing wrong. My hope is built on nothing less than God's great... I don't remember the lyrics either. On Christ's solid rock I stand, all other ground is sinking sand. That kind of sums it up for me. That's the one hymn I remember. On Christ the solid rock I stand, all of the ground is sinking sand. Like this. I'm sorry I got it wrong. I might have said Zenz before, but I think he's Karl Lentz. Sounds like a German person. Now, you can confuse Jews and Germans. I think we're that close. It's like crossing your fingers, but if I sent you off to a concentration camp, then I'm a Nazi. And if I didn't, then I'm not. You know what's so funny? Nothing is funny about what I say. It's never funny. It's always just like horrible. Listen, I went to like that sort of a church. Rock City Church. It was in a movie theater. I don't know what led me there. I volunteered there, and as a door greeter, this is just one story, honey. I'm not talking about all the churches. We're not going to like muddy the waters here, but at one point, I was a door greeter into like it was like the side theater, and I greeted this blonde woman who was, of course, shorter than I am because I'm a tall person. I said, hello, thank you for coming. She just kind of like ignored me or just kind of gave me a smirk. And I was devastated because I was so good at being a greeter. I'm like so friendly and nice. Look at my picture. Am I not friendly? And then this old guy sidles up to me and says, well, that's the pastor's wife. Well, if the pastor's wife is that much of a bitch, what does that say about him? I mean, he's not showing true leadership, right? I mean, seriously, it's like, I have no problem with Rod Parsley. I encountered him one time. I want to tell you, it's not funny, but it's an anecdote nonetheless, and it is authentic. He had like a church up in, up north. Up north? What would that be? Like that place up north? You know, he was renting out the church for a while. And somehow I had to use the restroom, which, you know, often occurs for me. It doesn't just happen, it occurs. Yeah. You can learn occur. Occur is a real word too. You can use the verb occur. If you wanted to, you could learn what it means. Okay, because I hate... So he's like walking out of his office and there's like police officers. It's like maybe somebody threatened him or something. Like maybe somebody flashed a gun. And he didn't expect me to be there. He kind of like touched me on the shoulder. I mean, he wasn't untoward or anything. I'm like, why are police showing up to your place, which you're renting out. I don't think it ever went very well. As far as I know, it's kind of like a shrinking ministry. And a few times over the past few years, World Harvest Church called me, but it's like I had to be true to myself. Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true." Some people have said this has been misattributed to him. However, I am just who I am. I'm not a phony baloney like you, right? Maybe you're phony baloney. Bop, 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 bop. Easton. Okay. I don't need other people's approval to cement what I know for myself and the fact that the world needs a savior. Obviously, there is rampant psychopathy in the entire world. Why would you just go up and shoot somebody, for no reason? And I have to tell you, I don't want to talk about this, but crime has affected my life a great deal. It has. Not only with my brother jumping off a building and killing himself, but there was a little baby cousin of mine that was punched in the stomach because he looked too white. It was like, he's a black man. He's his uncle. He just punched him right in the stomach because he was too obstreperous. I told you. It's difficult to deal with little... It's like... And then the relative showed up in court like, "Oh, he's not guilty. Oh, Lord. Yeah. I hate you. I hope you die a torturous death for eternity in hell, that you don't care that this black man killed a little white boy. Half white. I mean, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm losing control. If I am, I'm sorry. God knows I'm sorry. We need to separate sin from the profile of the person. Well, maybe that person is black, or maybe the person is white. I hope he doesn't mind my saying that, but I felt very terrible because the guy across the street, his great-grandmother told me that her boyfriend shot her because she wouldn't give him her drugs, which was like prescription opioids or something, opiates or something. I felt terrible. It's like, anybody that could be that crazy and weird, it's like, that's why I don't have a gun, because I don't need a gun. Unless I'm a soldier or a police, I'm not the one to have a gun, believe me. I know I have deep-seated anger issues that run so deep. If I had a gun, I would probably have shot myself or other people, like multiple people. I would have shot everybody, because I am not a normal person. I don't think so. I really don't get me anywhere. I don't want to know how to load a gun. I don't know how to shoot a gun, anything like that, because it's wrong. When you're angry, the last thing you need to be doing is going out and buying guns. So I knew a guy named Chris. He took me out one day after my friend had delivered a baby, and he said, "Well, I was raped in the juvie." Oh gosh, I didn't need to know that. He said, "I broke into a store and I stole some guns in Mount Vernon." And then later on, his wife called me and said, "Well, you'll testify that it wasn't premeditated. He just has mental illness." No, he told me that he was thinking about doing it, and then he did it. I mean, I'm not going to lie under oath. Am I that sort of person that would lie under oath? That makes me a non-entity. It makes me inhuman. He did say, I said, I am not going to testify on his behalf. He confessed it to me. he said he was planning to do it because he was upset that he didn't have enough money. They were living with my friend's parents at the time. He smashed in a window and he stole some guns. Guns and I do not get along. Guns, I have nothing to do with guns. I just live by the sword, die by the sword. There's no way you're going to get me to pick up a gun and just, I don't want to kill people. I mean, Jesus, I don't want to kill people. I'm supposed to be here loving people. If they don't love me, well, at least I'll be polite to them. It's okay, right? You think Americans love guns? I don't love guns. I'm a conservative so-called Republican, but I have nothing to do with guns. I just can't have them. I can't abide guns. People who like guns are really hateful, immature people. And to my way of thinking, they just think that the final solution is just shooting somebody. It's not the final solution. Let's do some therapy, okay? I'm here for you. I am almost 50 years old, so I have seen the downfall of religious organizations, including the Worldwide Church of God with Joseph W. Tkach at the helm. Before him was Herbert Armstrong, and then Joseph Tkach Jr. said, well, it's all a bunch of bunk. Let's just get out of this stuff. And I don't think people were hurt, or it wasn't like what do you say, a Ted Bundy thing? I would have said Jim Jones. Jim Jones is like, I feel so sad that I can't express it in words. I feel, because people are trying to follow the Bible, and these little rubes, you just lead them along the primrose path. I would never do that. Have I ever asked anybody for money? I mean, if you want to send me money, it's okay, but I never ask anybody for money at all. I mean, I feel very, 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 very terrible about the whole thing about the Hillsong Church, but I knew it was glib, but I knew it was funny because I have experienced that in recent years. You old lady, we don't need you around here. It's like there was this guy one time. I was not even maybe much past 30. I approached him. I said, you did a great job. He's like, looks at me. He's like this guy with beady little eyes, and he just doesn't even acknowledge that I said anything to him. It's just like, that must be the devil. I'm sure the devil has some moles in churches. What do you think? What do you think? I mean, it's just my supposition. Satan makes himself an angel of light. If I have profited out of any of this kind of stuff, I mean, tell me if I have, please. Show me. Show me the record where I have, like, I'm filching people or whatever. What is that? Filching or whatever? I feel terrible. I love Jesus. I wish it could have been. I wish we could just kind of like turn the speaker down and we just love Jesus and that's it. But back in the 90s or in the 2000s, it all runs together these days. Like they were all of a sudden saying, well, we don't like televangelists because you're jealous of the televangelists. Aren't you, Pastor Ken? And Pastor himself. You're envious because you wish you could have the great outreach, and then they get Phil Joel to move into the church. Like, I'm going to perform on Phil Joel. Unbelievable. Unbelievable how hypocritical these people are. They have no principles. They have no grounding. They have no understanding.